Oh, the championship season is back finally. We can't wait for football to return to the MKM. And here on Terrace Talk, we are going to be reviewing every single Hull City game from now to the end of the season. Let's do Where Tigers Walk. One of the best songs in football is finally back this weekend, and this season we have assembled an all-star cast to help us review this whole season. I think we're going to need it, given how the summer has gone. Welcome to Heavyweights on Twitter in Jack, Matty, Jake, and Luke. Good evening to you all. We are going to get straight into it by getting your views on all things Hull City that have happened since the season finished up to this point. Jack, we'll start with you. There are many fans angry at the owners at the moment. For those neutrals, which includes myself, can you tell us why, and is it fair?
Well, I guess it's the transfer business mostly. I think last season we had lots of more transfers than we did this season. I think it's either money or it's just Walter not knowing what he wants or who he wants yet. I hope we do have some signings in favour in the week, but it's not looking likely.
Matty, are Hull skint?
Well, certainly not. Well, I mean, we've sold arguably our two best players, Greaves and Philly Jean, for nearly 30 million. So I think there's a lot of rumours that potentially could be pulling out. It could be selling the club. So I think that is a potential there. So he certainly hasn't invested the money that have been sold from those two players into the team. We've got 3 signings this season and we lost 20 odd players. So we certainly aren't skint. It's just what are the intentions of the chairman, I suppose. What's going on? That's what we all want to know.
It is crazy to think that Hull are even being suggested for relegation by a couple of pundits. Luke, is it time just to everyone to calm down and let's just see where we are in August, or is there genuine reasons to panic a bit here?
I mean, look, you've brought in a new manager. He's going to have to rebuild the team. There's obviously going to be a need to do that, and some time is going to be required. But it doesn't seem like he's getting the backing he was obviously hoped for. I'm assuming he was sold a promise when he came to the club, and he made a big statement by getting rid of Liam, wasn't he? Who, in my opinion, had more of a pulling power in bringing players in. It might be a controversial opinion for some, but I still believe that he made the wrong decision in sacking him. And look, I think it is time to panic maybe a little bit, because we are getting to the last week before the season, and it doesn't look like we are competing with other clubs for signings and winning. We're losing players to like Coventry's and Oxford's, and we finished 7th. We've got to aim higher than this, and if we're going to do that, we've got to find a way of attracting these players, and we just can't seem to be doing it. I think the instability with the club that actions may be created. Obviously, we don't know what's going on behind the scenes, but I think the image he's created now is by criticising players in fans forums and sacking managers who technically had a good season. It doesn't really attract players. It looks it looks unstable at the moment, and yeah, I'm worried. But you never know what might happen. We might be surprised. We might have a flurry of signings. These new tactics might be a game changer. But what can you do at this point apart from wait?
Thanks, Luke. You mentioned the manager there, Jake. Can I get your views on your new man, Tiger Tim? No one's going to pretend to have heard or known too much about him before he was signed. But what's your view on him versus the other options which were mentioned with Hull, which were quite wide and various, including Lampard and others?
Well, we've gone down a completely different route, and the style of football is it's like at one point against Fiorentina on Tuesday, Sean McLaughlin, our centre-back, almost scored twice, and it's completely different to what Rossignol had the players doing. it's like everyone in the box for corners. It's a completely different style of football. Like all our games are going to be so open, and I mean it will bring a lot more entertainment to fans. But it could go either way. I mean, especially since like all our outgoings are. I mean, it's a tricky style to sort of judge, and it really could go either way.
Matty, I'll come to you because you're probably old enough to remember this, but I've seen a few fans refer to it as a Kevin Keegan style of football, where basically you might win a lot 4-3, but you might lose a lot 4-3. Is that what you've seen so far from his style of football? Just gung ho without too much care for defence?
I think so, and I think kind of from his style of football in Germany, I think that's kind of been his way. Is that he wants to go out and he wants to be on the front foot and he wants to be attacking. He wants to play attacking football. It will certainly be entertaining, as we just mentioned this season. I think times last season, the football was dull at home, and potentially we should have got in the playoffs. But we didn't take advantage of games where we were winning 1-0 and we ended up drawing, or we're losing 1-0 and we didn't go for it, where we should have really gone for it. So it's going to be interesting. Have we got the players to play that attacking football? At the moment, probably not. But, it'll certainly be an entertaining year, I should say, this season. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed we'll see a lot more goals.
Yeah, as a neutral, I'll be probably tuning into a lot more Hull games than I did last year. I'll be quite frank and honest with you. Jack, okay, run through pre-season for me, not in terms of results, but just in general. What's the style been like? If you can put your finger on it, who's played well, who needs more game time?
Well, I think Abdisha has played well. I think Drama coming in has played well. Slater is doing well. A couple of the people from last season that have followed on to the next season have played well. It's just the youngsters at the moment who need more game time, I think. And they tried doing that against Doncaster, but didn't work out.
Luke, we can't read too much into pre-season results, and there's teams that have lost every pre-season and gone and won the championship in the past. But is there anything that you've seen from the games you've watched so far that suggests Hull are going to be in trouble?
I mean, look, we have spells of, say, 30 minutes where we look like we might, even with this current team that we haven't really built upon, we do look like we would be a problem for a lot of teams. I think Eddie Howe touched on it where he said, he struggled to figure out our tactics for a minute, and it was new. And it is new and exciting, but the issue is it's 30 minutes of great football and then the team sort of sutters us out. And so we have a collapse, we end up with, like I said before, we end up with our centre-backs up front, which is great. But then when we're defending, we have a lot of one-on-one situations when we're defending, and we're not winning those, especially with the youngsters that we're trying to blood. But I mean, again, I'm excited to see what Omo does this year. I think players like Regan Slater, they don't look the same as they did last year. I think they need to improve. I think these youngsters are going to be too inexperienced. I know it sounds negative, but I hope we start backing him and then we have something better to talk about. And then, then we won't have to worry about these results so much. It can be disregarded. It can be just, sort of practices. Because at the end of the day, that's what it is.
Yeah.
But let's see what happens.
Yeah, and beat Bristol City, and the whole mood will lift in this camp next week, won't we? But that's something that you failed to do last year, wouldn't it? Beat Bristol City. Let's chat to our Robins fan and get his view on it. Welcome, Sam, to Where Tigers Walk. As a Bristol City fan, you must have been enjoying listening to all that, were you?
Yeah, just a bit. It sounds like they got a fair few problems out there at the moment.
Just for the whole fans here and those watching, just walk us through what Bristol City's pre-season's been like. What sort of shape are you in? Are you looking good?
Yeah, certainly. Like over the summer, we've made some great signings. Towards the tail end of last season, we went on a good long unbeaten run. albeit a real heavy defeat at Stoke last game of the season. But I think with the added firepower now, what we got, it's looking promising for us this year.
Well, you've had dissension in the ranks, haven't you, Tommy Conway? You could actually drop him off at Middlesbrough, couldn't you, on your way up here?
Yeah.
Is that all sorted out now? As the manager and him have had a big fallout, does that worry you for the season coming up?
Yeah, I think he's burnt his bridges at the club now, to be fair. And, there's talk of a swap deal at the moment with Burnley for Twine plus cash. I'd be snapping their hands off for it at the minute.
Yeah, because the rumours are that by Friday, Scott Twine may be a permanent Bristol City player, which means he could, in the 90th minute, pop up at Hull and bag the winner. It'd just be Hull's luck, wouldn't it? How do you rate Hull then as a side, Sam? Are you fearful of this fixture? Is it one that you could have avoided and done without?
They're a decent outfit. It normally ends up in a draw up at your place, and we normally get the 3 points down here. But it's one of them games. First game of the season tends to start off a bit slow for us, so we'll just see how it goes.
Jake, you have a habit of playing Bristol City early in the August for some reason. Obviously, as the fixture computer gives it out, Are you hopeful for 3 points? Do you look at Bristol City? I think they're a team. I think a lot of people just underestimate, don't they? It's just Bristol City. They're going to finish 12th. What hopes do you have for Saturday's game?
Well, it could go either way. I mean, I saw a stat today actually that said Tim Walters won every single opening fixture, and so that gives me a little bit of hope. But I mean, Bristol, they'll be a tough side this year, so could go either way. But obviously, I hope bring home the 3 points.
Yeah, just don't call them Bristol in the pubs. They won't like that very much, Sam, do they? Okay, let's get some score predictions then. Jack, you can take it for Hull.
2-0 Bristol.
Gosh, that pessimistic.
Yep.
Sam?
I'm going to have to agree with Jack there. I'm going to go 2-0 Bristol City win.
Gosh, right. Anyone would be more positive? Matty, Luke, Jake? No.
2-2 draw.
Yeah.
Draw.
High scoring draw, I think. Yeah. 3-up. We'll take 5-all the first game.
Yeah.
It'll be scrappy. Very scrappy.
I think it might be a 3-2 win for Bristol City, unfortunately. I think it might be, which is what people want, I guess.
Right. Well, us neutrals...
But I don't think we'll win. No.
Right, us neutrals are going on the away bets then this weekend, Sam, by the sounds of it. Right.
Fingers crossed.
Cheers for joining us.
No
Appreciate
problem.
it. Good luck for the season. And let's get you to let's ask you Hull fans to review your shirt. And I stress the word shirt because there's only one. So we will ask you each week then to rate a particular take. There's 2 on the screen. We'll talk about the shirt one first of all. So if you're a Hull fan, if you can end your tweets with #RateMyTake, then this team will be up for reviewing them each season. First of all, not as nice as last season, to be honest, around about the home shirt. Matty, do you agree with that take?
I don't think you can go wrong with black and amber stripes, can you? There's only certain variations that you can go on it. I think it's decent. I like the Kappa design. I think it's I think we've been lucky. We've had Umbro previously and Kappa design. I like it. It's a decent shirt. What's worrying is that we've got luckily there's not many teams that play in amber and black in the Championship, so we ain't got an away shirt at the minute or a third shirt. So no, decent. I think it's all right. It's a decent colour as well, decent dark amber as well. So yeah, I think it's all right. Yeah, it's good.
What colour should a Hull away shirt be? Just out of interest for all of you, Matty.
Either what we've had a couple. So either a white one. White one would be nice. We had the all amber kit last year, which was a bit of a strange one, but it worked quite well. Or blue away, but I quite fancy a white one would be nice. A nice white Kappa one would be good, I reckon.
You're getting a few nods there, Matty, so we'll go with that one. All right, Luke, I want to ask you about this comment from Brad. We'd make top 6 comfortably this season if Rossini was still in charge. 4th best team for away form last season. Tweak the style of play for home games in a weaker championship, and we'd have been fine. Given your comments earlier, I'm going to guess you're going to agree with most of that.
I mean, I don't think we'll ever have a summer, or not in the near future anyway, as good as last year in terms of bringing in players, way above our sort of quality. It is what it is. We brought in Premier League players. We should probably be looking at playoff place at least. I think with Liam, he was a new manager. You got to give it. He changed the culture and the style of the way we were playing, and that's going to take time. I think he needed at least another season. So he's had 2.5 seasons. I do think we would probably find it easier to sign players because as an ex-player in these divisions, and he's a guy with a connection with Hull as well, he's going to be able to sell the city, sell the club, convince these players who might not normally come to our club to come. I do think we would be knocking on the door of the playoffs again. Last year was exceptionally good in terms of the top 4 or 5 teams. They were good teams. You've got your Leeds, Southamptons, and Leicesters. Then Ipswich surprised everyone. I don't think it'll be as difficult this season, although it's the championship, so you never know. And I think 4th or 5th wouldn't have been out of reach with Liam. But again, we would have had to sell some of our assets to be able to sign more players at the end of the day. So you don't really know. And with Walter, it's completely unknown at this point. He might surprise everyone and win the league. He might have the opposite effect. Hopefully, he'll have the players to be able to do whatever he needs to. But in my opinion, I think so a bit of stability would have been great, and I think it would have improved our position this year.
Okay. Jake, can I get your take on that as well?
Well, I think it would be difficult because if it was the same sort of window as we're having now, then I couldn't really see much. I couldn't see top 6 finish if he had the same window as he had. But if he had the pulling power like everyone's saying he does, then bring in the loans. But I think it's mainly just, well, people are saying Adjun's focusing on Fenerbahce now, which I sort of see, to be honest. If he didn't bring in a few more players before Saturday, then I can sort of see him like going that way. But it's just it depends on the window you'd have had really, and the players you'd have been able to keep.
Okay, I for one can't believe that I've read Hull being mentioned in the relegation talks. I mean, West Brom have been mentioned now in the relegation talks, and that's crazy to think that West Brom versus Hull last year was a fixture for playoffs and potentially could be a 6-pointer towards the end of the season. It's absolute madness, but I'm sure everything will be fine. Would you take mid-table now, Jack?
I think that's what we'll finish anyway, yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Right, I've got some quick-fire questions for you, and then we're going to let you go and enjoy your week and prepare for singing your heart out to get Bristol City. Here's added time. Okay, finish that there. Let's go straight into it then. Quick-fire questions, 1-word answers, 2-word answers, 90 seconds on the clock. Question for all of you, first of all. Starting with you, Jack. Where will Hull City finish this season?
I think 15th, 16th. I'll go 15th. 15th.
Matty.
Oh, should we be optimistic? 12th.
Oh, that's Bristol City's place. You can't have that. They always think that, yeah.
11th then. We'll go 11th.
Okay.
We'll have to take that now.
Okay. Any events on 11th, Luke?
I want to go 17th, unfortunately.
I would say 17th as well, yeah.
Oh, gosh. Okay. But you've watched them, to be fair, so I can't argue with it. Okay, Jack, which player has the most to prove to fans this season?
I guess drama.
Okay. Matty, out of 10, how much faith do the fans have in the manager at this current moment in time?
I suppose it's a tricky one. We don't really know what he's going to be like. So we'll go for mid-rate. So 6 to 7, probably.
Okay. Luke, can you score your summer transfer dealings out of 10 so far?
We're going to go for
everyone, sorry.
a high 2.
Fair enough. And a question to all of you. I'm going to give each of you a 6-0 win at some ground, at some place this season against any team that you wish. I want you to name the team and the ground that you'd like that 6-0 scoreline to happen at. Jake, you'll go first.
Ellen Road, Leeds United.
Jack.
Bramall Lane, Sheffield United.
Matty.
Well, keep it in Yorkshire. Sheffield Wednesday. Hillsborough.
Luke.
I'd like to see us turn over Sunderland. We always seem to struggle against them. At the Stadium of Light would be lovely.
Amazing. Okay, cool. Jake, who's going to win the championship?
Burnley.
Jack, give us a team that's going down.
Oxford.
Matty, complete another team that's going to go down with Oxford.
Blackburn, I think. I think it's their time.
And Luke, complete the full set of relegated teams for us.
Oof. I think with the issues they've got, West Brom. Probably Blackburn.
Yep. Cool.
I actually think Bristol City, maybe. I think they might surprise me.
It's a good job he's gone, isn't it? He didn't say that before. Right. And finally, Jake, finish the sentence for us. This season, Hull fans would most looking forward to
staying up.
I can't believe having this conversation with Hull fans. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Hull can't be playing Shrewsbury next season. Can't be having that.
It's looking likely.
Listen, we'll be with you the whole journey. Thank you so much for joining us. Good luck against Bristol City. We'll catch you next week. And we're away, aren't we? Next week. Where's our first away trip? Remind me.
Is it Plymouth?
Plymouth.
Plymouth. Oh gosh, right. Anyone planning to go to that one, or
No, definitely not.
Giving that a miss? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Not after the end of the last season.
Yeah.
Oh, of course, the last day of the season, wasn't it? Yeah, they stayed up. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Right, we'll have a Plymouth fan on next week to gloat all about that. You'll be glad to hear. Right, cheers everyone. Enjoy your week and enjoy the football. It's good to be back.
Mark.
Cheers. Thank you all.